You know that feeling when you leave a conversation and you just think, something was a little bit off? Well, today we're going to dive into how to analyze people. We're going to break down some really powerful techniques into simple, actionable steps that, believe it or not, you can start using right away.
So let me ask you this. Think about the last time you got a vibe that someone wasn't being totally straight with you. Could you really put your finger on why you felt that way? I mean, are you confident you can spot a lie when you hear one?
Well, if you feel like you're just guessing most of the time, you're not alone. The reality is, most of us, we're not natural lie detectors. That 20% statistic means we're wrong about 80% of the time. But here's the great news. Being accurate isn't some superpower. It's a skill. And if you learn what to look for, you can seriously improve your ability to read a situation the right way.
So, where do we even begin? Well, you might be surprised to hear that it's not by analyzing other people. Nope. The very first step is to look in the mirror. See, before you can get an accurate read on someone else, you have to understand and remove your own internal filters.
Okay, so the first huge barrier is something called projection. Think of it like a mental shortcut your brain takes to shield you from uncomfortable truths. Instead of seeing what's actually there, we just project our own hopes, our own fears onto the situation. Why? Well, because it's a heck of a lot easier than facing a reality we don't like. And the second barrier, prejudice. And look, this isn't just about the big, obvious biases we talk about. This is any time we form an opinion, good or bad, without really having the facts. It's our brain taking another shortcut, based on how someone dresses or how they talk, and it completely clouds our ability to see who they really are.
So how do we fight this? How do we get past our own brains? The book gives us this fantastic mental image. Wait with empty hands. What does that mean? It means you go into an interaction with zero preconceived notions. You just wait. Be patient, let the information come to you, and let the full picture develop before you jump to a single conclusion. All right, so once we've kind of cleared our own mental clutter, we can finally start observing what's happening outside of us. And that brings us to section 2, decoding the powerful nonverbal signals people are sending out all the time through their body language. A lot of times, it starts with their overall posture. An open and honest person tends to be, well, physically open. They might be leaning in a bit, their arms are uncrossed, maybe their palms are showing. On the flip side, someone who's feeling defensive or stressed out will often create a literal physical barrier, crossing their arms, clenching their fists, or even leaning away from you.
Now, beyond their general stance, you want to look for what are called pacifying gestures. These are those small, self-soothing things people do when they're under stress. Rubbing the forehead, that can signal shame. Touching the nose is a classic. It often means discomfort, or that they're hiding something. Even something as simple as scratching their face might mean they're trying to dodge your question. These are the body's little tells.
Of course, people communicate with a lot more than just their bodies. The words they use, and sometimes more importantly, the words they choose not to use, can tell you pretty much everything you need to know. Here's one of the most revealing verbal cues out there: pronoun usage. It's so simple. Truthful people, they tend to take ownership of their stories. They use words like I and me. But someone who's being deceptive, they often subconsciously create distance by avoiding any reference to themselves.
And this example just illustrates the point perfectly. The door was left unlocked. That's a passive description of something that happened. It completely removes the speaker from the action. But I left the door unlocked. That takes direct responsibility. It's such a subtle shift in language, but it's an incredibly powerful thing to listen for.
Have you ever asked someone a really direct question and gotten a strange response? You gotta watch out for these stalling tactics. If they ask you to repeat the question, or they say something like, "Wow, I can't believe you'd ask me that," they're probably just buying time to come up with a story. And of course, changing the subject is the oldest trick in the book for avoiding an answer altogether.
So you've cleared your own biases, you've observed their body language, and you've listened carefully to their words. The final piece of this puzzle actually brings us right back to you, learning how to trust your gut. Now, intuition, it's not magic. It's not some psychic power. Just think of it as your brain's super fast processor. It takes in all those tiny verbal and nonverbal cues in an instant, it compares them against all your past experiences, and then it delivers a quick gut feeling as its final report. But, and this is a big but, you have to know the difference between true intuition and just plain old fear. See, intuition is neutral, it's unemotional, it's focused on what's happening right now, and it just feels right. Fear, on the other hand, is always highly charged with emotion. It's rooted in past worries or future anxieties, and it feels heavy. Learning to tell that difference is absolutely critical.
At the end of the day, learning how to analyze people isn't about becoming judgmental or cynical. Not at all. It's really about developing a deeper awareness of all the communication that's happening around you all the time. It just empowers you to connect more authentically and, yeah, make better decisions. So that leaves us with one final thought. Now that you can see the signals, what are you going to choose to notice?